First, to solve this equation algebraically, we need everything on one side of the equation to equal 0. So we're going to subtract x squared from both sides. Okay, that'll give us an x squared here on the left, and we'll cancel over here on the right. We'll also add a 6x to both sides. Okay, and so that'll give us a 10x on the left. So 10x. And then we've got this minus 5. Let's go ahead and add 5 to both sides. So we have plus 5. And then we just have equals 0. So now we have this, this equation equal to 0. And so we want to factor this if we can. All right. This quadratic here, you can try factoring it out, but it turns out that it doesn't really factor in any nice way. Okay, and you can figure that out just by trial and error and realize, oh, nothing's going to work out. So then we can use our quadratic formula that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. All right, a is 1, b is 10, and c is 5. So we get negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5. Okay, and then divided by 2 times 1. So let's go ahead and simplify this. We have our negative 10 plus or minus the square root. This is 100 minus 20, so that's just 80. And then divided by 2. All right, we want to simplify this if we can, the square root of 80. And we just want to break that up into perfect squares if we can. And 80 happens to be 16 times 5. Okay, 16 is a perfect square, so that's a nice way to break it up. Okay, and then we can do the square root of 16. So we've got negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 16 is 4, and then times the square root of 5 over 2. Okay. Finally, we can get a common factor of 2 out of this numerator. Have a negative 5 plus 2 root 5. And cancel that with the 2 in the denominator. So our two answers are negative 5 plus 2 root 5 and negative 5 minus 2 root 5. That is our algebraic solution. If we want to solve it graphically, there's two options. Okay, one option is to move everything to one side and then graph this and find the zeros. So let's go ahead and do that. We will go into our graphs, and we're going to graph this x squared plus 10x plus 5. So x squared plus 10x plus 5. Okay, we'll graph that. And there it is. I'd like to zoom out a little bit because it's not quite clear what's going on here. So to zoom out, we'll go menu and then window/zoom. And we'll go ahead and just zoom out. And I'll click right there, kind of in the middle to zoom out from there. And I just care about the zeros of this. All right. So the zeros, of course, are the places where it crosses the axis. All right. And so we need to find those. In the calculator, we can go menu and then analyze graph, and then 0 to find the zeros. Okay, and then we're going to scroll. It asks us for a lower bound. All right, so we're going to click to the left of this 0 here, click to the left of it, and then scroll over to the right and click, and that's going to tell us the zeros there. We get negative 9.47. Okay, if you want more decimal places, you can go to menu, settings, and then it asks for more digits, and you can say how many digits you want. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it the way it is. So I get negative 9.47. So I get x equals negative 9.47. And then for the other one, okay, that's over here, I need to do the same thing. Menu, analyze graph, 0, and then I click to the left of the 0, so just over here, and then move to the right of it, and you'll see it highlights 0 for me. Okay, because it found it, and click, and there's another one. So I get negative 0.528. Negative 0.528. All right, so that's using the zeros of this x squared plus 10x plus 5. The other option in the calculator is to just graph both sides of this original equation. So if we go into our calculator, let's go ahead and just get a new graph. We're going to graph both of these. So 2x squared plus 4x. Okay, we'll graph that. And we'll graph this one here. So to enter another graph, we're going to hit tab. Put in another function here. We get x squared minus 6x minus 5. Hit enter. Okay, and then we see another graph. Now, here you'll see we see one place where they intersect, but apparently there's two because we found two solutions, our other two methods. So we're going to zoom out here. Window zoom, zoom out. I want to zoom out till I see them cross again. And it looks like it's kind of hard. It's like there, right? I'm going to zoom out again, and then I'm going to create a box, a zoom box. So menu, window/zoom, and then zoom box. And then we go and just draw a box kind of around where I think I might be able to find it. Okay. I see there's the thing. I'm going to create another box. Okay, a little bit closer to those intersection points. All right, now I'm seeing one right there and one right there. Okay, so I'm happy with this picture. Let's go ahead and drag these equations out of the way. So there's an intersection point and there's an intersection point. We want to find those. We go to Menu, Analyze Graph, and we're now finding the intersection of the two graphs. Okay, so intersect. It says pick a lower bound. So if I'm finding this one right here, I click to the left of that intersection. Okay, and then go to the right. And there's my intersection. And you can see that same x value that we found. Negative 9.47. Okay, same x value as previously. This one over here, we do the same thing. We go Menu, Analyze Graph, Intersection. And then again, it's asking for a lower bound. So we go to the left of it, click, and then move to the right and click. And it's kind of hard to see there, but let's drag it up. Negative 0.528. And there's the other answer that we got. Okay, so those are all the ways that we can find, that we can solve the equation. We can, of course, do it by hand. We can move everything to one side and then find the zeros of this in the calculator, or graph both sides and then find the intersection points of those two.